So let's go down on the farm with our Future is Bright segment brought to you by Shady Rays. Let's put on those Phillies rose-colored glasses and explain why the future is bright. Brought to you by Shady Rays. Head to shadyrays.com and use code PHLY for checkout or 35% off your polarized sunglasses. And Shady Rays are nuts. They give you the best protection in eyewear. Lost or stolen or damaged shades, they'll just send you a new one. All right, so here's a couple names that we haven't talked about much on the Phillies Down on the Farm report. But Jordan Vyars last week down in the Florida State League absolutely murdered baseballs. He had a game with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs in the game. He gets named the Florida State Player of the Week, and the left-handed power hitter that's emerging with the Phillies is really just smoking the ball off the bat. I think all 3 of his home runs that game were over 102 miles an hour off the bat. He's turned the corner and just turned into a masher down there. So Jordan Vyars is becoming somebody to keep an eye on big time here as the season closes out.
Yeah, I love that as we're having these opportunities to go down on the farm and look at the future for the Phillies. It is bright because it's just a lot of different names, and it mirrors what we're seeing in the majors with the team, where there are some other names that are jumping off the page at you and, having some impressive performances. That's one of them. Another one, Otto Kemp, who is one of the guys that just got honors for the month of May. So Otto Kemp slashed 337, 453, 581. He went 29 for 86 with 7 doubles, 4 triples, 2 home runs, 13 RBIs, 15 walks, 4 stolen bases, 19 runs scored in 24 games in Jersey Shore for the month of May. And among qualified hitters in the South Atlantic League, he ranks 1st in triples, 3rd in on-base percentage, 4th in OPS, 6th in slugging percentage, tied for 6th in batting average and runs, tied for 7th in extra base hits, and also tied for 8th in total bases. So great to see Otto Kemp, 24 years old, who's making some history. He became just the 7th Blue Claw in team history to hit 2 triples in a game and has been really performing well. He's a Cali native and signed with the Phillies back in 2022 and has been doing a really good job so far, and especially in the month of May with the numbers he put up.
Sounds great. Good job, Otto. Welcome to the White Sox.
He's got a good yeah. You've won a trip to
Chicago. Pack your bags. You're headed to the White Sox, Otto Kemp.
But yeah, I mean, hitter of the month for the organization is nice. And this next guy won pitcher of the month for the organization. Very cool name. Not a baseball name. Totally sounds like a musician. But Mavis Graves gets the pitcher of the month in the organization. 22 1/3 innings, only 12 hits allowed, 7 earned runs, only 7 walks, 29 Ks, and a 2.95 ERA for Mavis Graves, the left-hander, down in Clearwater. Totally sounds like a musician to me.
Yeah,
not a baseball player.
They call him Gravy, I found out.
That is pretty cool.
Which is sort of baseball.
That is a baseball name.
I like
All right,
that.
we're back.
I happened, when I was down in spring training in the complex, I happened to catch, I went over to see Brandon Marsh taking live batting practice when he was still recovering. And he was facing Mavis Graves. And Graves ended up striking him out. Nice. And all the other young guys. Gravy! Fuck up, Gravy! It was really funny. So he seems to be a popular guy. He's talented enough to strike out Brandon Marsh.
Yeah, he's only 20 years old, so still very young.
20 years old. Gravy's a guy to watch, I think.
Yeah, 2.79 ERA on the year and 42 innings, 1.12 WHIP. He's got 57 strikeouts in those 42 innings, so clearly he's mowing some guys down. Very cool name.
Yeah, and also with him some good numbers that among all pitchers in the Florida State League, tied for 1st in wins, 4th in opponent batting average at .158, strikeouts per 9 innings pitched is 12.23. 7th in whip, 9th in strikeout to walk ratio. So Gravy are you also going to Chicago, Gravy? But no. But what's great is, again, the hitter of the month, the pitcher of the month are different names from last month that we even talked about. We haven't talked about Gravy. We haven't
it's
talked
good to
about
see these guys get their
Kemp.
shine.
So yeah.
You just sort of get the feeling that there's talent all over the place.
Yeah.
In a way you haven't recently.
So I saw something last week when I wasn't with you guys. Somebody took the top 6 minor league farm system publications and rankings and balanced them all out to where each team finished among those 6. The Phillies were still 21st. So, like, while it's much better,
Yeah.
it's still not elite.
Well, you know what, Preston?
But it's getting a lot better.
Down in spring training, we had Preston Mattingly on the show.
He's actually going to rejoin the show soon,
that's
I think.
fantastic. But
Is he?
In the near future. Yeah.
That's great.
I'll let you know a day in advance. Don't worry.
Well, one of the things he mentioned
Great.
after the cameras were off was that these rankings, these publications, they start from a certain place.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get it moved. And both the team ranking is, stubborn, stuck in place because, they start from where they were last year. And he indicated that, the way people think about individual players, if they weren't a high draft pick,
Sure.
if they didn't have that pedigree coming into the organization, when they start to show the development, it's slow for publications to catch on and start.
Yeah,
really
like somebody
paying
like George
Yeah.
Clausen, for example.
Right. It's gonna
Isn't
be-
regarded as like this huge prospect, but internally, the guy's throwing strikes and gas now all of a sudden, and you're like, oh, wow, he might actually be something.
When you think about it, it makes sense because look how long it takes them to move guys off of the prospect list that have been playing in the majors. We talked about when Starlin Caba cracked the top 100, it was because they finally had, graduated. I forget his first name for I think it's the Dodgers. But it took them a while to move him off of being considered a prospect.
I remember Kirkering.
Yeah, like there's guys that are
Who
still
pitched in
considered
postseason last
prospects
year.
that are fully playing in the majors every day. So I think the whole, in general, the minor league system, the rankings and everything like that,
All right,
just takes some time.